Well, hello there. My name is Mark Miles. I love helping trainers, presenters, workshop facilitators really take their results to the next level. But in today's video, I want to talk to you about training organizations, so to speak, and even large corporate organizations or even professional development organizations that may be running programs that are looking to induct or onboard new trainers. Because what I've discovered over my last 10 years of presenting and training and joining different organizations is that the quality of the onboarding is critically important to the quality of the training that's actually delivered over the long term. Now, what we need to realize is that consistency of messaging and consistency of delivery and consistency is the most important thing that an organization really needs to go after. Unfortunately, though, there are a lot of corners that are actually cut when trainers are onboarded, so to speak. And what we need to realize is that if you truly, as an organization, want consistent outcomes and consistent methods of delivery and style of delivery, you're going to have to follow a particular formula in order to make that happen. And as I said, a lot of organizations will shortcut things. They'll, jump a couple of steps. They'll make assumptions around what's possible, what's not possible. And as a result, we often find that you get what's called rogue trainers or rogue presenters. And what we mean by that is people delivering in different styles that's not congruent to the original intention of the course that's been formulated or put together. So if you really want consistency, well, as an organization, you have to be willing to actually go through the steps to make that happen. And myself as a lead trainer, when I very first started out as a trainer, I knew that in order to actually create that consistency, I needed to be able to keep a watchful eye on how things were being developed and delivered by other trainers. And at the end of the day, consistency comes back to your willingness as a leader and as an organization to actually put those observations in place and to keep an eye on the development of your trainer or presenter. So let's go through those stages that essentially are critically important. And this even goes outside training organizations as well. The stages that someone needs to go through as they are onboarded to your organization as a trainer or presenter or workshop facilitator. And if you're ever getting inconsistency, it's probably because one of these steps has been skipped, so to speak. So the first stage that you want to put any new trainer through is that you want them to sit through the course as a learner themselves. This is critically important because they're going to get a sense of the flavor of the expectations and how a student actually feels. Okay, critically important. Could the trainer put all ego aside and put the trainer through as a student? Okay, because what you'll find is that that person is then going to go, all right, well, that part's hard, or that part, yeah, it didn't make sense. And they're going to get an idea of what it's actually like to be a student, and you'll be able to instill a sense of empathy in them, okay, for future courses that they actually deliver. So number one, put them through as a student. Number two, put them through as an observer. So they're going to go through the course again, but they're going to sit there with the syntax or the session plan, and they're going to see the trainer do their thing in action live. Yes, budget concerns. Yes, it's going to cost you as an organization, but it's going to pay dividends because they're going to understand from the back end and from the side, so to speak, why things happen in a particular way. Okay, and they're going to understand it from a second perspective, which is critically important. Third, ideally, if you can record any of those sessions, that's going to be a huge gift to the up and coming trainer because we know, as you know, from the training world, that it takes a number of exposures for someone to remember things. All right, and the more times they can actually watch something, the more probability they're going to remember how to do it, how it was done, so to speak. All right. So stage one, put them through as a student. Stage two, get them to sit on the sidelines and observe it in action and the trainer delivering their thing, so to speak. Number three is watch those recordings. Number four is co-deliver. co-deliver. So what you want to do if you are training someone up is you want to pick out certain segments of your course for them to deliver. Now, I'd recommend that you pick out the easy parts and then later on give them the harder part. But get them stepping into the zone and getting their feet wet with the easier content. All right. And that way, you're also going to be able to maintain messaging to the audience if you are delivering to an audience and you are co-delivering, so to speak. All right. Now, after all the sessions that they co-deliver, you do want to sit down with them and say, all right, what are you really happy about with what you just did? Where do you feel that you stayed on point and on the session plan? And potentially, where do you feel that you deviated? And, was that a good idea? What ramifications did you see that they had? And maybe what bits did you miss out? And going forward, how would you change that? All right. Critically important that you ask those questions, but ask in a way that's quite supportive and know that you are there on their side. Okay. And know that at the end of the day, you are there to help them reproduce a product and help them understand that it's not about them, it's about helping them deliver the content in the way that is required or the intention behind each of the key items. All right. Now, next one. What we recommend is that you would want to get them to deliver an entire course by themselves at least twice, and then come back on the third time and watch them deliver the entire course. Now, why do I say 2 times? Because generally the first time, they're going to make lots of mistakes. Then the second time, they're going to clean up a lot of their mistakes because they've had the realizations. And by the time they get to the third one, they've kind of found their groove, found their vibe, and you can then sit down with them and say, all right, yep, that thing, I'm loving what you're doing there. That thing, no, that's way off what we intend. And you need to correct course and come back and say the instructions or the activities, do them this way. All right. And that is really then setting them off on the launch pad for them to be able to go forward and succeed. And if you follow all of those steps, then generally you're going to find that the messaging gets quite consistent. Now, it also comes back to your documentation and your syntax or your session plans. And essentially, the more clear they are, the more you can set the expectations. But as a lead trainer or head of training and development or whatever you would like to call yourself in a management position, you should essentially be able to call up a trainer at any point. If you're looking to create a consistent program, you should be able to call them up and say, all right, syntax, it's 3:00 right now. You are at XYZ point, aren't you? And you should be able to set that expectation and they should be able to say, yeah, absolutely, that's what we're doing. And if you can't do that, well, then how could you really expect the consistency of a program to ever develop? And ultimately, as an organization, if you are looking to create a consistent experience for your learners, your audience, your cohort, so to speak, you need to be looking to create that consistency across all your deliverers, your trainers, so to speak. If you don't, then you're going to end up with a situation where participants on cohorts, so to speak, or learners go, I only want to attend that professional development organization or that training organization if I can have that trainer. And that's okay, but you then end up with fragmented training messages and training styles and all of that. So I just really want to encourage you, if you are a manager, if you are a training supervisor, if you are a lead trainer, to really think about the process that you use when you are onboarding new trainers. Because each of these stages that I've articulated has particular things that a trainer, a new person, will pick up and are critically important for their development and for their understanding. Because what we often find is that performance management issues happen because the onboarding process hasn't been laid out and deployed in the most effective manner, so to speak. So yes, in the beginning, it can cost you as an organization, but at the end of the day, it's going to cost you even more with performance management issues and cleaning up messaging and all those different things that happen at a medium or long-term level. All right. So I hope you got some value from this video. In my time, I've joined a number of organizations. I've experienced different levels of this. And whenever I've been training up new trainers, this is the process I've always followed because I wanted to make sure there was consistency. All right. Yes, I want to respect people's experience and what they bring to the table. But at the end of the day, if you want your organization messaging and delivery methods to be consistent, you've got to follow this process. As always, thanks so much for watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and get this out there. We really want to raise the levels of training in Australia and throughout the globe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.